Hey guys, and welcome to day 5 of my seasonal 7, where I post 7 videos in 7 days themed around and leading up to the spring equinox. Today we're going to do a pick a flower reading because spring and also flower crown. The general idea behind this reading is going to be about spring. What does spring mean into your life? Spring's all about new beginnings and fresh starts and planting seeds and fertility and all these things. So what is this season bringing into your life? And as an additional side note, before I show you the close-ups, I just want to say that this is as far away as I can get my camera from me. Like, this is as much frame as I can give you, and I don't have the equipment to do an overhead shot. I know it's preferable. I know you would probably prefer for me to do an overhead, but I'm just not set up for that right now. So this is the best I can do. All right, without further ado, pick your pile and we will get into your reading. All right, pile 1, this is gonna be your reading. All right, so disclaimer, if you're new to pick your cards, they are general readings. They are for a group of people, which means they're not tailored specific to you. General themes amongst the group is what will come through the strongest, and then specific messages for specific people, if they need to hear them, will come through as well. And then if it doesn't resonate with you, don't take it. That is not for you, it's for somebody else who's watching. I know that this is pretty generic because it's the spring, but there is such a, there's an energy of like a very uncomfortable new beginning in a specific aspect of your life. And I'll dig into that a little bit more in a second, but you have death clarified by strength. You also have the judgment clarified by the tower. And this is the row that's like drawing me in the most. It like feels like it has the most emphasis to it. These two in particular, but this one the strongest. And I know this energy pretty well personally, which maybe is why, but I feel like it's really important for me to emphasize here. There is, there either has been or will immediately soon, although my instinct is just recently has been, the collapse of something, right? The tower in some area and something specific. In that collapse is this, it's almost like you got trimmed down for a really amazing new growth. This judgment card feels like this big, huge blossoming that comes out of being chopped down. It's like you experience, I want to say throughout this recent winter, the end of winter time is what it feels like. A hard time or struggle, a loss of something that it fell apart. And it is in this spring, as the spring rushes in, that was such a necessity, because what is going to blossom out of that for you is what you've been waiting for. And it's almost like the whole, what I feel, I don't usually do this, but that's what we're doing today. I'm not really a very intuitive reader. I'm a very by the books logistical reader, but I'm feeling very intuitive with this pile today. It feels like you wanted this for a while, and you were struggling, and then you feel like you lost it, but actually that loss is what you needed to have the blossoming for what it is that you're actually striving for. You also have the death and rebirth clarified by strength, which is really just a message from spirit or the universe, whatever you want to believe in, to have strength, and that you do have the strength. Like, you have this perseverance about you, that this rebirth, this beginning that you're having through this spring, which feels like I kind of want to cry a little bit. Like, it feels kind of emotional, but it feels like you have a lot of resiliency, like, you know, bad bitch energy kind of thing, right? Then you will have the strength to persevere through it. There's also, you have the Two of Cups here reversed, clarified by the High Priestess and the Seven of Wands. They came out together and they felt like they belonged together. And it's this energy of using your intuition to guide you through this inevitable win, right? So the Seven of Wands This is one of my favorite depictions of the Seven of Wands, because in the original RWS deck, right, there's a guy and he's like got his wand and he's like about to fight, and there's 6 wands below him all coming at him, and he feels like he's in battle, but he really has the upper hand, right? That's the overall message, is you have the upper hand in this battle. With this deck though, it's got this girl who's just kind of sitting in this peaceful, like holding her own peace, while these 6 wands try to attack her, because she knows that her victory is inevitable, and she knows that she has the upper hand, and she knows that she's like good to go. And I think the message is to listen to your intuition on this one. Your intuition is guiding you to know that it is going to work out. And it's not anything to be really concerned about. What's happening with you. You got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. My camera only records 20 minutes at a time, and then I have to get up and reset it, and my timer went off. So, as I was saying, your intuition is guiding you to understand that to have peace over this. The 2 of Cups reversed, there's some emotional healing and emotional trauma blockages that you need to work through, or that you are working through. And just through that process, just maintain your inner peace and allow your intuition to kind of guide you through that process. This healing you're going through is going to result in a really beautiful spiritual evolution, and evolution of, I want to say self-love. There's a real, like, I'm feeling very emotional. I'm feeling a very emotional, like, self-love vibe going on. That being said, allow yourself to be guided and have the strength to go through that. And then the last set you have, I really feel like this is supposed to be, it's weird because I feel like this is supposed to be upright, and I don't usually do that, but you have the 2 of Pentacles reversed with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. This inability to maintain your balance, or you're struggling to maintain your balance with your general foundation. Like, the Ace of Pentacles typically involves, money and career and that kind of thing, but it is earth, and earth is your basic foundational home life, that kind of thing. So it's like a little uprooting, and having a hard time in maintaining your balance through that process. But again, this feels, of all these piles, of all these rows, this feels like almost like a little undercurrent. Like, it's just this, you are going to kind of waver back and forth with maintaining your balance and ability to keep your foundational life, or your home life, or your basics, or maybe your finances, that kind of thing, just keeping it balanced and not, getting off center. But overall, the process you're going through is this beautiful blossoming that is divinely guided. That's what I was saying before the camera cut off. I remember now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5 major arcanas plus an ace out of 9 cards. There's so much big, like, divine energy happening. Like, this is such a divinely guided process that you're going through. And as hard as it may be, it is really pushing you to what you wanted and what you asked for. You're also being asked to lead, right? Like, there's that's the energy I'm getting with this Emperor in reverse. The Emperor is kind of the divine masculine. It's the essence of masculinity. And it is a very strong kind of leading card. And reversed, I just feel like, I know it's not the way I would normally read it again, but it feels like you're being asked to step up and hold that energy and kind of be able to lead your own life in the direction that intuitively feels right. don't read reversals in this deck. This is the, I'll put all the links to all the decks that I use in the description box if you're interested in any of them. This is the Psychic Tarot, which is like a Tarot Oracle hybrid. I really love it though. You have the Hierophant, which in this deck is called Wisdom. You also have not Judgment. What is it? Oh my God. Laws, legal matters, divorce. What in the actual fuck is just happened to my brain? I can see it. Number 11, which in this deck is called Balance, and my brain just gave out on me. So that was fun. Also the Three of Pentacles, which is called Recognition and Reward. This, so what I like to do when I do my readings is I'll do the kind of initial spread, and then I'll kind of build these cards on top of it as like a clarifier to kind of hone in that energy. This is going to bother the shit out of me. Justice. Jesus, my brain died. Okay. So with Justice, which in this deck is called Balance, I cannot believe that just happened to me. I'm so embarrassed of myself. Maybe I wasn't, maybe, you know what? In this deck, it's called Balance, and we already have the balance issue over here. So maybe that's why my brain gave out on me. And I got to distrust that and stop being like, must know the specifics. The Balance card in this deck came out with Wisdom, which is the Hierophant, and the Three of Pentacles. Again, 2 more major Arcana cards. Like you didn't have enough already. With the Three of Pentacles, and which is in this deck is called Recognition and Reward. This is telling me that, again, with that the High Priestess, 7 of Wands energy, having the Hierophant on top of that, which is it's touching along with Death and Strength, is that your strength and your intuition, your inner guidance, your inner knowing, this journey you're taking to understand higher wisdoms, is so beautiful. And that's what you're on a journey for. I think spring, more than anything else, is bringing you higher wisdoms and higher understandings and a real level up game, like a real growth game. You need to learn how, and you're going to learn how to balance better, and you're going to be recognized for your growth, for sure. Recognized for the strides you're making. I'm going to go ahead and start pulling oracle cards. Now, normally when I do readings, I pull 2 sets of tarot and then I'll do oracle. But today I pulled out a ton of oracle decks. That's what felt right to me. I'm having a very intuitive, weird day. I'm gonna start pulling oracle cards now because that's just what feels right. I've these readings I think are going to be largely oracle, and I don't know why that's happening today, but it is. All right, I'm gonna start with. I guess I'm gonna start with Starseed, which is weird. This is the Starseed Oracle. It's beautiful, wonderful, and fantastic, and I love it. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Make you want more of those. Or not. Maybe I'm not. I don't want a whole pile. Okay. My bad. It was like, you will take a whole pile and you'll like it. Oh, right. My bad. So the first one that came out was The Void. Stop, Embrace Winter, Great Cosmic Moon. And that was... that's what I'm saying about what I was feeling about this past winter. So it's stop, embrace winter, the great cosmic womb, right? It's before the birth. That's what I feel like with you guys. It was like this winter, something happened. It was kind of a heavy winter for you. I feel like especially towards the end, like maybe the winter started cool, but then it ended not so great. But that was a part. It was the cosmic womb. You were being prepared for a rebirth, right? You also have perspective. None of this matters. Zoom out, common ground, right? And again, that's that same energy of like, I know it feels like you lost something, but that really wasn't what was important. What's important is what grows from it and what is going to grow from it in the spring season. The next one is You've Got the Love, Hadrian energy, codependency, and boundaries. So maybe that's one of the things you're really learning about. What else do we have here? Do I see? Yeah, okay. There's also karmic relationships in here, and you have the Two of Cups in reverse. So for some of you, maybe not all, but for some of you, this can be a relationship for sure. there's enough signifiers. You've got Death, the Tower, the Two of Cups. You've got the love and karmic relationships. For sure. Some of you, it's going to be relationships. Anyways, you've got the love, Hadrian energy, codependency, and boundaries. And I think maybe that's one of the things that you're learning is the your own codependency and having healthier boundaries and standing up for yourself and deciding what you're worth and knowing what you're worth, and being willing to walk away from something that doesn't serve you. Karmic relationships, Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, and conflict. Again, it's through these toxic relationships, right? These toxic relationships, which are usually toxic on both sides. We like to point fingers, but two. If you were way more healed than the person you were with, you wouldn't have been with them. Sorry to like attack you like that, but this is something that I had to learn, where I was like, I dated some, I had been almost murdered by one ex like literally tried to kill me. And then another one hit me in the head with a bat. And I like to be like, well, they're pieces of shit. But I chose to date those people. So, well, it wasn't that great, was I? And that's on me. So these karmic relationships, these toxic relationships are really catalysts for additional growth. These conflict causes your need for inner peace and your need to transcend above it. So it's not bad necessarily. It's important that you get out of them. I'm not saying like stay in it, it'll be great for your growth. I'm saying leave it and that will be great for your growth. You also have lifting the veil, questioning everything, anything unaligned must go. This is hard. This is a very hard thing to do, but it is absolutely fucking liberating. When I've talked a few times on my channel about alignment. It's a big deal to me. It is like a core component of how I live my life. When things are not resonating, when friends, relationships, jobs, any literal fucking thing in your life isn't resonating with you, it's not helping you or assisting you, it's not helping you grow, it's not challenging you, or it's hurting you or keeping you down, you have to let go of those things. You have to learn that it's okay. You have to, again, with, codependency? Having codependency here and also having questioning everything, anything on the line must go, and codependency with all this new, like the tower, the death, and all those kinds of things. This is a lot of learning your codependency, and I'm going to give you the simplest definition that I can for what codependency is. Codependency is really putting anyone else's needs above your own. It's wanting, needing to be loved. It is doing shit for other people when you don't have the energy, just because you don't want to say no, just because you're afraid. You ever feel like, well, if I don't do this, they're going to think I'm an asshole, or they're not going to, whatever, they're going to stop talking to me, or they're going to dislike me, or they're going to whatever, because I said no, or because I didn't want to do this. That's codependency. That's codependency all day. Feeling like your value is I'm going on a tangent now. Feeling like your value is predicated on somebody else's opinion of you based on what you did for them or didn't do for them, or how they see you. That's codependency, because your understanding and knowing of yourself should be entirely dependent upon you and nobody else. It does not matter what anybody else thinks or does. It does not change your inherent value of yourself. That doesn't mean you shouldn't treat people well and have respect and do all these things. But when you don't respect your own well-being, boundaries, and desires, and instead put somebody else's above your own, that's codependency. And going through the process of overcoming that and healing from it is absolutely liberating, and it will turn you into like, oh, you'll never feel better than you have before that. Like the feeling that you get after you kind of surmount that, I cannot encourage you enough to keep going, because that seems to be kind of a thing that you're working through, and this spring and the growth you'll have from that is so empowering and amazing. I'm gonna grab you don't understand. I have like a system, and the system feels off today. Like I'm doing things that aren't normal, I'm gonna get you some unicorns. I'm gonna grab you a couple of unicorns, but not a lot. So what I feel inclined to do today is to pull from these oracle decks I have here, which I don't usually pull for people, just because the cards themselves really require that you read the whole book. Not the whole book, but like the whole section in the book on those cards. They're not cards that are just like throw it down and just read it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull you some unicorns because they're the best. And then I'm going to pull you, I think one of each. I think one of each of these oracle cards. And I'm going to read you the short synopsis from the book, but then I think I'll post pictures on Instagram of the actual whole book. So I'll do a post today. It'll just be, I'll probably just take a picture of like my tarot card, something like that, and I'll post that, and then I'll do like a carousel. So I'll do that for each pile, because that's what I feel. I feel like I need to pull from these cards for each pile today, but I want to make sure that you have the entire information that's in the book, because it's super valuable. But I'm not going to read the whole thing to you because you don't want to, I don't want to, nobody wants us to. So I'll just put it there. That way, if you feel like if this really resonates with you and you really want to read that, it'll be available to you, but I'm not going to bore you with it here. So let's do some unicorns. I dislike when they fall on the floor. I'm going to have to fetch them. I'm sorry. If you haven't noticed, my cards get very aggressive if I bitch about them at all. And you know what? They're totally right. Absolutely should not do that. All right, your unicorns. Your unicorns are, first, the one that fell on the floor, is dance. Move your body to music, dance with the rhythm of life, manifest your dreams through dance. I don't know what else to add to that other than that's like the way that I typically raise my energy, is I like clean my house and I dance and I sing. And I think that really helps. It helps me process and move forward with my life. And that's what your guides, higher self, universe, whatever you want to believe in, that's what they are saying for you to do. Awareness. Live in the moment. Be conscious of your thoughts. Look for signs and guidance. I'm having such a deja vu moment. Oh my God. As you are moving forward with this spring and this transformation and this growth you're getting, just be aware and also look for all the signs. You are learning to be in alignment, right? That's what I'm getting, is you're learning to find what resonates and learn who you are. Your, whatever you want to believe in, is going to guide the way for you. Just be aware and look at those signs. And a tip I have for you, if you're new to this, if you're just getting started, or if you're in advance and you need a reminder, when you see a synchronicity, stop in that moment and just think, what were you just thinking about? What thought was just in your head when you saw that? You know, so for me, where are they? Hello? Where is it? For me, crows and ravens are one of my signs, and I live in Michigan, so there's crows all the time, and especially around my house. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and they're just like in my yard, like ah! I'm like, hey guys, what's up? So with that, sometimes I'll go to my car, for instance. This happened a couple days ago. So I went to my car, and as I was walking to my car, like several crows flew overhead, and they all were like, bah, 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 like they did the sound as they were flying over me, and I just stopped and I thought, what am I thinking about? Right? And that just, it's almost like an alarm. Like it's literally your external world giving you feedback for your internal world on what's occurring to help guide you through the process of your own evolution and ascension. So with the awareness card, my thought is, as you move forward with your alignment process and you're learning your alignment and all of that, be very aware of the signs and guidance you're being given, because you are being guided. You also have imagination. Envision a new reality. Give yourself permission to dream. Believe in unlimited possibilities. This is spring, man. This is the time. If you were ever going to manifest some shit that you didn't think was possible, spring is the time to do it. So, shameless plug. I did a shadow work video, and I also did a seed planting ritual and a petition ritual in this seasonal 7 series to help you manifest. So if this is something that resonates with you and you want to do that, I have videos on it, or use the internet, whatever, but I already did this whole thing. So, and then nature. Ground yourself, find a sanctuary in nature, connect with the elementals. I think for you, the vibe I get from that is that you will receive guidance out in the natural world. So just go out there and you'll start to understand what it is and be able to hear spirit more clearly. So this is, what is it called? Mystical Shaman Oracle. It's a fantastic deck. I almost never use it unless I've only used it a couple of times, with the exception of when I attend plant medicine ceremonies. I bring it with me. This is like my plant medicine deck. And I usually will share it with other people while I'm there. I have never used it in a client reading before. I rarely pull it out even for myself. It's a very special deck to me. I think it's a very, very magical deck. There is medicine in these cards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull one of these for you as a message from your guide, higher self, whatever. And I'll tell you the kind of the synopsis of the card from the book. And then I will publish a picture on my Instagram today, which is, I don't know the date today. I stopped knowing the date. My phone's not telling me because I have a timer going, so it won't show me. 18th. It's March 18th. So if you're watching this after the fact, it is March 18th. My Instagram handle is Stormy Atlantis, and I'm going to post a picture of the actual full page of the guidebook of these cards. All right, you got number 20, it's called Flow, which makes sense because you're going through a period of transition and learning about alignment, so flowing with the natural rhythm of it is going to be ideal for you. Did I open it to the page and then flip away? I did. I opened it directly to the right page. What did I flipped away? I know I just saw it. Okay. So the way this book works is there are 3 sections. You have the essence, which is the essence of the card, the invitation, which is what it's inviting you to do, and then the medicine, which is the medicine within the card, right? I'm going to read to you the essence. There's a natural movement of events in the world. You can see it in the phenomena such as a tide, the ebb and flow of the oceans, and rivers that rise up from the earth, then flow to the sea. The symbol of flow represents the effortless and natural movement towards a certain destination. It signifies an ability to gracefully move around obstacles and reminds you of the sense of allowing. Okay, again, I'm going to pull another. Actually, this isn't even that long. I'm going to read you the medicine, and then I'll just post the picture if you want to read it yourself or if you want to read the other part. But I think the medicine's important. Don't try to push against the river or swim upstream right now. You can trust that when the time is right, your dreams will begin to take shape, and you will be invited to dance with destiny. Right now, however, you must relax. This is not the time of banging on doors that refuse to open. Whatever obstacles in front of you right now, trust this is for the highest good. It is an opportunity to regroup and reconsider your choices, and you must trust that your intentions will take form in good time. Consider this time a gift. Again, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you're gonna blossom from this thing, and it's gonna be beautiful, and you're learning a lot. Very exciting. All right, I'm also going to pull you a Lemuria card, which is another deck that I read the book of. This one, though, I know the book is like so long. So I'm going to, okay. I will definitely post a picture of this on Instagram because I'm not going to read the whole thing. 52, the Violet Flame. So the way this book is broken down is there is a like short synopsis and then there's a longer piece of information. So I'm going to read you just this part and then I'll post a picture on Instagram of the rest of this if you want to read it, if it resonates and you want to know what it says. Your psychic toolkit, recentering practices, deepening your energetic awareness, clearing your aura, healthy energetic boundaries. We have boundaries again. Protection, removing trauma from your field, maintaining a high vibration, and rebalancing after times of raised frequency. Again, that's what you're really just leveling up in spring, I think, honestly. You are, you're finding what it is to be in alignment. You're overcoming your codependency issues. You are blossoming from something that fell away. It was a natural crumbling that had to occur in your life. You got a lot of major arcana cards here. I think the spring's gonna be really beautiful for you. It's rough going in, but I think by the end of it, you are just gonna be like, oh, it's gonna be great. So that being said, if you want to read these, I'll put them on Instagram. Other than that, happy spring equinox or Ostara, whatever you believe in, whatever you celebrate. And I'm really excited for you guys. This is your reading. Bye. All right, pile 2. If you chose this flower, this is going to be your reading. Let's look into what the spring equinox, the spring season is bringing into your life. It's probably unlikely, but if you're new to pick a cards, it's a group reading, so messages are not going to be specific for you, although sometimes there will be a really strong resonance. Generally what's going to happen is common themes between those watching this pile will be discussed, and specific messages will come through for specific people who need to hear them, or groups of people who really need to hear them. My intention is to give you the information which your guides, higher self, spirit wants you to know. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't. So, all right, overall general, I'm going to do specifics, but overall general, what I'm initially picking up is that it really feels like summer, I know this is a spring reading, but I think summer is going to be really where you thrive and kind of, it's where all those blessings are coming into place. It looks like, or it feels like, spring is more preparatory for you. You've got the Eight of Wands reverse, which is about delays. You've also got, there's a lot of reversals. There's a lot of blocked energies. You got the Ten of Cups in reverse, the Moon in reverse, Two of Cups in reverse, Knight of Wands in reverse, Eight of Wands in reverse, Queen of Cups in reverse, Two of Pentacles in reverse, the Death reversed. You only have 2 cards upright now. It's a good, real nice 2 cards to have upright, and that is the Star and the Sun. It's hope and happiness. But what I'm getting from that is that hope and happiness, having hope for happiness and having this beautiful hope is just a little delayed. There's a lot of blocked energy that I think spring is going to be healing for you. It's going to be kind of going through and unblocking some of these things so that you can have that thriving, glorious sun star energy, which is coming down the pipe. I just don't think it's quite here yet. There's too many reversals. I mean, those are 2 really amazing, beautiful, fantastical, like, there's really very few other combinations of cards which could insinuate more joyful, hopeful happiness. Big happy energy, big joy, bliss energy. But there's still some conflict. There is you're having a hard time balancing your emotions in regards to, or you will have, I should say, for spring, a hard time balancing your emotions and in regards to letting go. There's a death and rebirth that needs to take place, but it's a reverse, which I usually interpret as a real resistance to it. Like, you're resisting this change that's occurring. And you're having a hard time getting balanced. And I think it might actually be resulting in you exhibiting some, and this is only for some people, not everyone, don't come for me in the comments, I'm not attacking you. For some of you, if this resonates, it's not for everyone, but for some of you, if it resonates, I think this imbalance and this resistance to this particular situation that you're going through is causing you to exhibit some emotionally manipulative and petty behavior. And I think that's a lot of what's blocking you or could be blocking you. For those that makes sense. If it's you, you'll know, and you'll probably be upset that I'm saying it. If you feel triggered by what I'm saying, it's probably you I'm talking about. So if you find yourself doing shit that, just take yourself out of the equation. Look at it from somebody else's perspective. For some of you, not all, some. If someone else is doing what you're doing, the way you're thinking, the way you're behaving, your plans, your goals, like those things, if you find yourself manipulating people or doing things for specific reactions, if someone else was doing that, would you think that was ideal? Or would you approve of that, right? So look at your own behaviors. I think some of you guys are having such a reactionary response to your environment that you're exhibiting some toxic behaviors, which we all do. I'm not on a high horse here, believe me. And that, addressing that, doing the shadow work on it and healing that is going to will allow you to release the blockage to receive the blessings that are incoming, all this big blessing energy you have. There's some emotional pain and turmoil and emotional blockages with your 2 of Cups in reverse next to a 10 of Cups in reverse. It's like you have hope for it. It's like you want it, but there's just healing that needs to happen, or a lot of healing. You also have the Moon in reverse, which is like secrets coming to light and diving into your shadows. I think for you, your spring really needs to be about shadow work. If I had advice, if I'm reading this the way that I'm reading this, I think your happiness is on delay on account of you needing to do some shadow work and healing. There's some conflict in the home perhaps, and yeah. And a need to go within, and a need to bring about authentic communication without an agenda. Authentic communication without an agenda. That's what I feel is the most important. To allow, I'm going to pull some Psychic Tarot. It'll add clarity. That's what I have so far. So far, it's like there's so much joy and happiness on the horizon, but like, you guys feel, this pile feels very different. I can almost feel somebody watching being like, fuck you, Stormy. Like, that's almost what it feels like. Conflict and defeat, just the 5 of Swords. Oh, on the back of the deck was the 2 of Wands in reverse too. And then you have the 5 of Wands, obstacles and challenges. And then the 7 of Wands, stand your ground. All right, so yeah, it looks like you're experiencing a lot of conflict. To have that much reversal, and then to have the 5 of Swords and the 5 of Wands and the 7 of Wands all come out, there's definitely a lot of conflict in your life, or going into spring or during spring, that kind of thing. It's conflict in your life. What you're being asked to do is to rise above it, right? Like, there's an inclination to want to be like, oh yeah, well, don't do that. Nope. You have a tremendous amount of happiness and joy and bliss awaiting you, but you're being tested. Like, can you rise above this conflict, and can you do what is the most, can you be your most high vibrational self amidst this conflict and amidst this struggle that you're having? And in doing so, unlock the blessings that are coming towards you. there's some healing, and I think you're being pushed towards it. I think whatever is in, this pile feels a little angry, if I'm honest. Feels a little like, I'm a little like, don't come for me. Like, I feel very skittish. Like, I feel very like, please don't attack me. Like, I feel very defensive. I feel very like I don't even want to read these cards. I just want to like move on to pile 3. Like, I don't want to fight with you. Like, that's how I feel about this whole pile, is like, please just don't come for me. But like, do some healing work and fuck those guys. But like, don't fuck those guys. Just like, you know what I mean? Just like, it's not worth it. Keep your peace, okay? 'Cause there's with the star and I keep coming back to it. My eye keeps coming back to the sun and the star card. It's like there's this big energy on the other side of this threshold of just really, really joyful, amazing energy. But you're like, there's so much conflict in the way of it, and it's all being like delayed. My nose it just keeps happening in all my readings. My nose keeps getting itchy. I don't know why. I'm going to pull some oracle cards for you guys. I'm going to pull the Moonology. Oh, Jesus. Okay. The first one that came out is New Moon in Virgo, which says it's time to give rather than take. I feel like that's a specific message for somebody specifically, or a couple people specifically. I'm not going to read too much into it. I think those who know. You also have Balsamic Moon, a time for healing, which we already discussed. And the other one is the Cardinal Moon, be bold and make the first move. You also had, I didn't touch on it God, my nose is getting so itchy again. I didn't touch on it much, but you also have Stand Your Ground, which is the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands card, it's one of my favorite cards in the deck. Because the Seven of Wands energy is all about having the high ground, just not quite knowing it, right? It's like you're preparing for a battle, and it looks like it's going to be a rough battle, but it's not actually, because the Seven of Wands is actually above the 6 wands below it. Like the 6 wands can't even touch them. It just looks like it. It just looks like it's a 1-on-6 battle, but it's not. It's actually just 6 people at your ankles with little sticks. It's fine. And if you just stand your ground, and maintain your own essence and your own truth, the battle is easy peasy. And I think with this be bold to make the first move card, what I'm getting from that is just to like, I have goosebumps, just to take the initiative to do what needs to be done, and don't worry about the conflict that's going to happen. Like, be authentic to yourself. Don't engage with the conflict. Just do what needs to be done. Okay. Then you have full moon eclipse. Conclusions are within reach. Again, it's just a blockage. Beyond that, it's beautiful. And then you also have surrender to the divine, which is just good advice all the time for anyone. Like, let go of the reins. Like, it's like you want to decide it's going to be like this, you know, like you want to decide, you want to fight for something, but you don't have to. If you just let go, it's going to work out just fine. I'm also going to pull you guys a couple, not a lot, but like maybe 2 work your light cards. I guess. Okay, we're just gonna collapse everywhere. Is that what we're doing? Okay. All right. I guess you're gonna get 4. That's what's happening. All right. You're already doing this is like one of my favorite cards in this deck. You're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. Again, it's about that. Don't engage in the conflict. Don't engage in any of it. You need to rise above this and just march towards your truth. March towards what is true for you, and don't worry about anybody else's shit. You have the age of light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. Yeah, I think you're on the precipice. Oh yeah. I think you're on the precipice of a really important phase. And spring is all about, new beginnings and new growth. So I think everyone who watches this reading is going to have some level or another of new beginnings and new growth and transformation, because it's spring. With you, it feels like a particularly heavy density that you need to transmute, or that you're transmuting. And then on the other side of that, it's just fucking beautiful. But really, it's angry. It just feels very angry. It says you've been training for this for lifetimes. The next one is the initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. Again, that's what I was just talking about, right? Where you're on the precipice of this transmutation. And then, unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. I think you've been carrying this around for a long time, like maybe lifetimes. Whatever this anger is, this cycle you're going through, whatever cycle you're in right now, really spend some time analyzing it, because it's the one thing that I think is holding you back from this bliss that's waiting for you. Then I'm going to do a couple of unicorns, because unicorns make everything better, and this energy is very heavy. So I'm going to go ahead and grab you some unicorns, and I'm going to give you the other oracle cards. First one that came out was leadership. Step into your leadership, share your message, inspire and empower others. So I think with you guys, that's really what it's about. The four words I have here are leadership, action, growth, and compassion. With you guys, it's really important that you surmount whatever you're struggling with currently, so that you can showcase how it's done, and people around you. We all have people around us that are watching us, whether we realize it or not, right? So moving past this and rising above the conflict and being a leader in that is setting an example for others. You also have action. Now is the perfect time to act, take inspired action towards your dreams, move forward with confidence. You guys have a lot of that, actually. I think it almost feels like there's a subgroup within this reading that the conflict for them has to do with taking a leap of faith, right? It's almost like they want to try for something, but there's a lot of pushback in their life about it. And this is not gonna be for everyone. This is like a subgroup, but there's a subgroup of you who want to try for something, and you're being told just to go ahead and do it, right? Why am I itchy? Growth. Seek out a mentor or guide. Take baby steps as you grow. Be willing to learn from others. Don't ever let your egoic mind, we all have it, this notion that I had an ego death, I don't have an ego anymore. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. That's your identity. That's what you're existing in, okay? Unless you have no idea who you are or what you are. You've got an ego, okay? Don't allow your ego to prevent you from being able to learn from others. Don't allow yourself to think that you know enough. And if you're going to lead or you're going to start something, you have to also be willing to learn from others, right? And then you have compassion. Be gentle with yourself. Forgiveness will set you free. See the light in yourself and others. And this one this is the one I was waiting to get to. This is the one that I feel the strongest with you, because there is this underlying current of anger. And I think it's important to recognize that everybody is doing the best they can with the trauma that they've been dealt. And some people are dicks, right? But some people think you're a dick too. Like we all have people who think ill of us and we think ill of others, but really everyone's doing their best, right? So just have compassion for that person that's on their own journey. They're doing their own thing. If it doesn't resonate with you, you don't have to associate. Let them live their fucking life, okay? All right, this is where I think it's going to be at with you guys. I really want to get you these cards. like the whole time I've been reading it, just been wanting to get through it to get to these cards, because I feel like there's messages for you guys in these cards. All right, this is the Shaman Oracle. Mystical Shaman Oracle. This is a very special deck to me. I never use it for anybody. It's personal use only. And even then, I rarely use it. But there is real medicine in these cards. And I would take them also very responsive. Take it very seriously. All right, you got number 43, which is the rattle. Again, I will publish pictures of the full information from both of these cards on my Instagram today. But I will read you 2 of the 3 parts that are in here, which is, this one's pretty short. That one's the longer one. So the essence of the card, the way this deck works, the way the cards work, is you have the essence, the invitation, and the medicine. I'm going to read you the essence, which is what the card is about, the energy of the card. I'm also going to read you the medicine. If you want to read the other part, it'll be on my Instagram for you to see. So, the essence. The rattle is the spirit caller, carrying the shaman's prayer to the 4 directions. The body of the rattle is like the earth spinning on its axis. With the aid of the rattle, the medicine woman instills a desired destiny in her future, closing with the prayer, Great Spirit, may your will be done. This rattle guides us to pray for all the earth, not just for our own personal needs. When we offer our prayers for the highest good of all, everything we need is provided for us. The medicine. You want to catch God on the whisper. You want to catch God on the whisper, not on the shout. What you are trying to craft to your own desires and expectations is already there, standing before you. Do not spin the world to your own benefit. You are being offered the Creator's tools, which must be put to use to serve a divine purpose. Y'all got some next level cards. So, reading that, we have this. You've been training for this for lifetimes. Leadership, compassion, action, growth. I just got the most goosebumps also. I think for a lot of you, you're really being called to a higher calling. You just have to get over whatever this thing is that's preventing you. And I think it really varies. I think within this group, there's a lot of different factors, a lot of different pushback, a lot of conflict and issue that you're experiencing. That being said, I think you guys are being called to really help spread light and spread medicine and help the collective. But that has to start with moving beyond yourself. In order to be a tool and a light to the world in and of your own right, you have to make that your intention, right? You have to make it your intention to benefit everyone. And that's going to involve a lot of different lessons and a lot of different things. That could be anything from, as much as you want to have compassion for everyone, you have to be able to remove yourself from people's situations that are negatively affecting you compassionately. It's nobody's fault. It's just dysresonance, right? Or what else did you have? Releasing soul patterns. Surrender to the divine. Yeah, you're being guided very, very heavily. You have all these challenges right now, and on the other side of that, you have that sun and that star. You have the initiation. This is rite of passage. You are doing the thing. I know where you're at. You also have, you're already doing it. Yeah, okay. I feel like I may have lost some people along the way in this reading because it may not have vibed initially, but now that I have everything out here, for those of you who stayed and remained, you guys are going to be doing some great work for the collective. I really feel that is true. And you're asked to be a leader. But you have to do some more digging within yourself. You have to get through this initiation. You may be going through a dark night of the soul. You may be just not sure what to do next. You find regular jobs unfulfilling. You find normal conversations unfulfilling. You have a lot of conflict in your life. You're not sure how to escape it because you've been around all these people, places, and things for a really, really long time, and you're not sure what life exists like without it, right? But you're being asked to surrender and do what you came here to do. I'm also going to pull you a Lemuria card. The Lemuria card Lemuria card. The book has a lot in it, and I'm only going to read you the synopsis, and I will post that's... Can I just keep shuffling, or do you want me to do two? Okay. I'm just going to do the short synopsis of it, and if you want to read the rest of it, you can. On my Instagram, it's March 18th, so if you're watching this later than today, just scroll back. My handle's @StormyAtlantis. Shouldn't be hard to find. You have the I want you to recognize that I did not really look at what happened there. You have the very first card, and it's called Initiation, which is also what you have here. You guys this group is being initiated. There is an undercurrent that I was originally feeling that you need to transmute, but once you get past that, you guys are going to do beautiful work to help the collective. And on behalf of the collective, I'd just like to thank you, because I know you guys are going to do great things. The first card, which is the Earth Star Chakra, is called Initiation. And I'm going to read you, I'll show you how it's done. So the way this book works is there's like a short section of like keywords, and then there's all of this. I'm just going to read you these keywords. And if you want to see the rest, Instagram. All right. Oneness, collective consciousness, anchoring transmissions from the higher realm, sacred earth knowledge, integration of the divine, and working with grid lines. Yeah, you guys are going to have to be able to transmute integration of spirit and the eternal self, how you balance spiritual and physical reality. Yeah, you guys are having a hard time balancing. You have to learn how to do that so that you can be, you have to do a lot of cleansing and a lot of healing and a lot of shadow work to be able to help ground in and bring forth higher frequency transmissions into this realm. I'm really getting out there with this reading. I can't believe I went from what's happening for spring into like, you gotta ground higher frequency consciousness lessons down to the 3D. That's where this reading went. You guys are being asked to step up into your spiritual evolution. You guys are being asked to take the step, go through the initiation process, which is often dark. You have to go through and heal and purge and do dark nights, and it sucks, and you get angry, which is probably why I had that heaviness in the beginning. I'm understanding now what it was I was feeling. Also, I feel like this reading has turned out to be very long. This pile is long as fuck. That's okay. That's okay. I believe in divine guidance, so I believe that the people who are, if you're sitting here and you're made it through all of that and you're still listening to me, then I'm abso-fucking-lutely talking to you. Because that's how these things work. And you guys are being asked to step up, and I'll put the pictures of these things if you want to read them on Instagram. I think there's a couple of groups here, and I think that's why I'm getting so confused. Partially. I think some of the people watching this are baby stepping into their awakening. Like, they just woke up, and they were like, oh, so like, there's like a whole spiritual realm over here, right? Like, just newbies. There's some newbies out there, and then there's some like, been spiritual for a long time, but maybe went adrift, or maybe ready to level up. Like, you've just kind of been going through the motions. Maybe you've been doing some shadow work, doing some healing, but it's kind of been this thing in passing, but you're being asked to fully embrace that now, and to not make it a thing that you just do kind of off to the side, to really, really embrace that part of yourself, because you're being asked to step up and learn it and heal and share and do leadership, right? Do leadership? Anyways, this is you guys' reading. Leave me a comment below, specifically this pile. I didn't even say the first pile. I would like this pile to let me know if this resonated. Also, I just want to say, I feel so much more energized now than I did when I started these cards. And I honestly think what happened, I'll be interested to see the comment section. I think what happened, like what I feel intuitively, is that a lot of people picked this pile, and then a lot of them clicked off, like, fuck this doesn't resonate, this is bullshit. And then what was left was those who were really stepping forward into this path, because the energy feels different. When actually, I'll tell you a fun fact. This reading should be done by now, but I'm going to chat with you guys, okay? Here's what happened. I actually started this reading, pile number 2, once before you saw it. And I started to pull the cards out. I actually used this deck. And I got like not okay. And I had to get up and I had to cleanse my space out. And I had to sit and meditate with my black tourmaline for a while and take a second. And then I had to do, I had to like disinvite a specific frequency, because there was a specific frequency that started to come through on this pile that felt malevolent, and that doesn't usually happen, but it was not good, and I had to re-cleanse, and then there was a whole break that happened, and then I was like, I had to cleanse it, and then I had to like communicate with my higher self and everything, and set up a barrier before I did this reading. And then once I felt good again, then I sat back down and started over. So I pulled a whole spread out, and then just wasn't okay. Like I wasn't okay. And I needed to re-cleanse, and I needed to reinforce some specific protections and barriers before I did it. And I think that's what happened in this pile. If you're still watching, then like, you see, right? Because in the beginning, I think the group that originally picked this pile, there was some funky shit in there. It's very aggressive and very angry. But for those of you who stuck to the end, I have goosebumps again, and I'm getting a lot of goosebumps in the second half of this reading, which tells me that like there's a high frequency resonance happening with you guys. So thank you for your work. I know you guys are going to do great things, and thank you for watching. Leave me a comment.
Hey, Pal 3. So I have your reading. You're all good. Don't worry. However, let me just show you what my microphone sounds like.
First 2, and I took a break, and I had snacks.
That's pretty cool, huh? Yeah. So all I'm going to be able to give you is the audio that was captured from inside of my camera. It's not great. It's not great at all. This is going to be very echoey and very low quality, and that bothers me. I hope it doesn't bother you, but I felt like I had to. I'm editing it right now, and I was like, fuck. So yeah, that's what's happening. I'm really sorry. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again, but here's your reading with shit audio. My bad. All right, Pile 3, if you chose this flower, this is your reading. I have finished the first 2, and I took a break, and I had a snack, and I cleansed my space, and I re-energized, and I'm ready for you guys. For today is different than the way I usually read cards. First of all, I pulled out 12 Oracle decks, which is crazy. Secondly, I pulled out 2 decks that I never use, and what I've decided I'm doing now is I'm going to pull 1 card from each of those decks, and then there's a lot more information in the books that I'm going to give you, so I'm going to take a picture of that page of the book today. I'm going to post on Instagram. So on Instagram, what I'm going to do today is I'll post a picture probably of me at the desk, or just me with my fancy flower crown, and then I'll put like Pile 1, your Oracle cards, and then pictures of the book, Pile 2, pictures of the book, Pile 3, right? That's, I think, what I'm going to do. So if you resonate with this, and then you want to, at the end, know the rest of what the book says about the Oracle cards I pull for you, then you'll find it on my Instagram. Today is March 18th. And so, yeah, just date back to March 18th. I'm going to do my little visualization that I do before I pull cards, and then we're going to do your reading. All right, so I think with you guys, what I'm getting is, I think the Tower has been everywhere too. I think the Tower and the Two of Cups have been in all the readings. I think. It's so wild. With you guys, you have the Tower in reverse, the Five of Wands in reverse, the Devil in reverse. It's all right here with the Two of Pentacles. You also have the Star, the Six of Wands, Two of Cups reversed, the King of Cups, and the Moon. General overall on that, what I'm getting is it's like you guys are doing a really good job of maintaining your emotional like balance amongst conflict, which you are ready to release. The Tower reversed, the way I always read the Tower reversed is it's like a collapse of something that you knew was coming. It's not like a shocking Like when the tower's upright, it's very jolting. It's very like, oh, this thing, you know, collapse underneath you. But with the reverse, it's almost like it was gonna collapse. You knew it was gonna happen. There is or has been in spring conflict, but you are steadily marching along. You're willing to, the devil in reverse, you're ready and willing to let go of chains that have been holding you, or temptation that's been bothering you. You are maintaining a balance. You have hope for your own victory over your emotional healing, your own emotional wounds. I think you were struggling with them, but you have, going into the spring, you're like, fucking new year, new me. Like, that's the vibe I have with you guys. You're willing to put the work in. You have the Seven of Pentacles as the bottom of the deck energy. Kind of just patiently trotting along, knowing that you have to put the work in and being okay with it. Like, you're not exhausted at the idea. You have the King of Cups being clarified by the moon. And it's this energy of like really just being very aware of your emotions and being very aware of your shadows, your inner world, and leveraging that. Like, I think this pile, if I had to take a stab at it, I think this pile did the work in the winter time. And that's really, like, you guys are nailing it, because that's how it works. In my opinion, you do the work in the winter time, and then when you plant your seeds in the spring, you have fertile soil. And I think you guys did that. I think you guys did the work in the winter time, and now you have the fertile soil that you need to be able to plant the seeds and grow them really strong. I don't even feel like I need to read more into this set. That seems very clear to me of what I'm looking at. And honestly, I'm pretty amazed by that fact. Just looking at this pile, I think this is a combination that would confuse me most of the time, but it's coming through so clear. Like, I think your guides, your higher self, really showed up for you today, to be like, look, this is what it is. And good for you, good job. I'm gonna pull some psychic tarot cards. I don't read reversals in these, by the way. And these are gonna kind of clarify and add additional emphasis where need be on these cards. So like, we'll get a duplicate, for instance, that'll tell me that card is extra important. You also have a lot of, do you have a lot of major? I think you have a lot of major. You do. You have the Devil in reverse, the Tower, the Star, the Moon. You just pulled Judgment and Strength. And so did the top one. And the Wheel of Fortune. That's a lot. You guys have a lot of major arcana cards. Good energy, good vibes. Like, y'all ready for spring. You guys did the work, and you're about to level the fuck up. I'm hyped for you guys. You guys are doing great. This is the pile I vibe with, I feel like. This is cool. The Judgment, the Strength, and the Wheel of Fortune, crazy cards to pull as a clarifier, is really just telling me, why does this keep happening? Every reading, my nose gets itchy. I don't understand it. The Truth, well, it's called Truth, Power, and Destiny in this deck, but it's Judgment, Strength, and the Wheel of Fortune. Essentially, what this is telling me is that everything that has happened and everything that is about to happen to you is divinely guided. You're about to be a badass powerhouse, and your spiritual evolution, your ability to discern truth, your ability to know yourself, through spring is when you level up and you take it to a greater level of understanding. I think you have, throughout this winter, really struggled with some emotional healing journey stuff, and emotional healing journey stuff. You know what I mean? And I think you're coming out of that. Like, as the spring comes, you guys are like vibing. This is gonna be a short reading. I'm gonna start pulling oracle cards for you guys, but I don't feel like I need to clarify a whole lot. Like, your spring is gonna be dope. No, I'm gonna pull star seeds for you guys. I get the impression that this is a more spiritually aware, spiritually advanced pile. Like, I think you guys are very aware of what you're doing, very aware of what's going on, very aware of your own healing, really putting the effort in, understanding, being open-minded. First one you have is Starkeeper. It says, Cosmic Ancestor, seed the light by staying grounded, which I feel like you're doing. And that's really important. So it says, seed the light by staying grounded. What that tells me is that you guys are acting as kind of anchors. It is energetically a very tumultuous time, just on a global scale. Everything's politicized, everything's hyperpolarized. And you guys being able to understand and balance your own emotions and kind of be very aware on a more global scale is assisting the collective and anchoring and being grounded, because as you do that for yourself, that change, it vibrates outward. That makes sense. Deep cellular healing, Arcturus energy, physical and emotional healing. Yeah, like you guys have done that. And I think you're going to start reaping, start to seeing some of the new seeds. You have new seeds to grow that you've never grown before. That's what I would say. The seeds you're going to grow this year are different than seeds you've grown in the past. Trust the timing. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. Yeah, I think there might be a little bit of that. Like you feel like you spend a lot of time maybe just healing or maybe not being very proactive, but everything's divinely guided. You don't have this many major arcana cards, including the Wheel of Fortune, and what you're going through not being absolutely 100% divinely guided. The timing of it is perfect. It's going to work out. And then the next one is, wait, it's not yet time. Things are being woven. Again, it's that time of like, don't feel like you have to be productive. Just let yourself guide yourself. You also have let yourself guide yourself. Water your garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. You have another rest card. Yeah, I think you guys did a lot of the work in the winter. You went through some emotional healing process. And what your guides, higher self, spirit, universe is saying is that, like, good job. Like, pat on the back. Cosmic pat on the back. You're doing good at staying pretty balanced in what you've been going through. And just take a little rest. Allow these seeds to kind of begin to sprout. Use this time to kind of recoup before the summer comes, and you know, that's where big sprouts of growth will happen. Unbound, releasing soul patterns. I've got this in another reading. I think I may have gotten this in all three too. Releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Yeah, like, again, it just, you guys really have done a lot of the work this winter. And yes, just say yes. So if that's a personal, if somebody came into this reading wanting to know a yes or no question, just say yes is the answer. I'm actually grabbing you guys a lot of oracle cards. Probably because I didn't give you a lot of tarot reading. This I didn't need to, honestly. This one is super simple. The first two are not. This one is nice. Ooh, a new romantic cycle begins. For those of you who are single and curious, I would say spring. Spring may be when you meet somebody. It's new moon in Libra. Okay. Is there more here? There's several. Okay. New moon in Scorpio. Work through your fears. And I would say if you do have any nope, I lost the word. You have any residual bits of work that you need to get done that's left over from your winter healing process or healing journey. After you've rest or with rest, go ahead and finish that up. You also have meditate and contemplate, so it's time to kind of start to reassess and reassess and figure out what you're planning to plant, right? Like, you've done a lot of work. What are you planting this spring? What seeds do you want to grow? Look at your future. Just kind of rest, plan, figure it out, do logistics. And then after that, you have show the world the real you. I think this is a card that is pretty commonplace after you've gone through a specific healing process, because after you do a healing process, you become more close to your true authentic self. So when you go through a lot of healing, you change as a person, you evolve and grow, and there can be a tendency to want to kind of diminish yourself or not necessarily express your new authenticity because it isn't necessarily in resonance with the people and places you've been around, because it's a new version. It's not what you guys originally resonated with. So this is just saying to be mindful of that fact and make sure that you are holding your most present, current, authentic self. I'm going to grab you a couple of unicorns, and then I'm going to do the special decks that I have. All right, first one is miracles. Have faith that your miracle is on its way. Your prayers have been answered. Surrender the how. That's also been a big theme with all the cards on all the piles today, has been surrendering. I think overall in general, everyone that all the piles from today have had kind of a bit of an undertone of wanting to control or do this or do that. And I've gotten a lot of messages about everyone watching these readings to just surrender, like just trust and know that it'll all work out. I saw somebody on Instagram today who suggested repeating the mantra, everything is working in my favor. And I think that's a great suggestion. And I think maybe that's why I just saw it. Like I took a break between the last one I did, the second pile and this pile, and I saw that. And now it's coming back up in my mind as like something to tell you. It's just to tell yourself, everything's working in your favor. Every day, just everything's working in my favor. It's all working out for me. It's fine. Next one is possibility. Raise your standards. Elevate your expectations. You have unlimited potential. Like, my camera only records for 20 minutes at a time, and then I have to get up and reset it, so sorry. All right, so possibility. Oh, raise your stand. That's what I was going to say. I remember now. Possibility. Raise your standards. Elevate your expectations. You have unlimited potential. When you heal like you just did, and you begin to unfurl the next level of yourself, with that you have to raise your standards, expectations, and know that like as you grow, everything around you should also be evolving. And I would say that you're probably going to have to start to be aware of alignment soon. That's not really a strong message in your reading, but going forward perhaps. Healer, you have powerful healing gifts. Have faith in your abilities. Stay true to your path as a healer. Now, I'm going to just say one thing about what it is to be a healer, okay? I think there's a lot of... Okay, first of all, there's no wrong, right? There's no... Do whatever works for you and believe whatever you want to believe. It's totally fine. So I don't want to get a fucking soapbox right now. That being said, I'm going to tell you what I think it is to be a healer. A healer is not necessarily some mystical, magical person that lays hands on somebody to fix them, right? We don't fix other people. That's not what healing is. Healing, true healing can only be done by the self, to the self, right? So what it is to be a healer is to heal yourself, first of all, because as you heal yourself, you are setting an example for those around you. You are healing your ancestral line forward and backwards. You are showing how it can be done. And as a healer, if you move into a path, a life path of being a healer, your job is not to heal another person. Your job is to show that person how to heal. And just to hold space for that person while they heal. Being a healer can be as simple as listening to somebody bitch for an hour and a half. And maybe ask one or two very poignant questions for them to consider. And if you look at somebody and you see very clearly from an outside perspective an issue that they need to heal, it's not necessarily on you to point it out either. You can ask questions around it and see if it triggers anything. If they ask you directly, sure, but it's mostly just to hold space and allow someone to go through their journey at their own pace and understand the nature of of everyone's healing journey being totally different. And just like that person may not be able to see the very clear issue they need to heal, you may very well have a very clear issue that you need to heal that you don't see. We all have our blind spots. So I think the true path of a healer is to be a non-judgmental, compassionate human who heals themselves, holds space for, and demonstrates how to heal for others to do so for themselves. True healing is done by the self to the self. Long tangent for you, apparently. Receive. Be open to receiving goodness. Believe you are worthy of abundance. A gift is coming to you soon. That just, I would say, is a given, because anytime you do a lot of healing work, you usually get a gift. All right. I feel like I spent a lot of time doing oracle cards for you guys. I think everyone else got 1 or 2 decks, and you guys got like 4. All right, I'm going to do one of these and one of these. Now, this deck is the Mystical Shaman Oracle. Mystical Shaman Oracle. This is a very special deck to me. I don't ever use it for clients or anybody, other than I take it to plant medicine ceremonies sometimes, and I will share it with that group. Let everybody pull a card for themselves. I use it for myself every once in a while. I find this to be an incredibly deep, amazing, beautiful deck. You only need 1 card. And I'm going to read it. I'll show you. Hold on. Let me get pile 3. What medicine does pile 3 need? Okay, you have 53, the sun. The way this book works is there are 3 sections of it. The first section is called the essence, the second section is called the invitation, and the third one is the medicine. I'm going to read you the essence and the medicine. If you want to read the invitation, I will go ahead and throw that on my Instagram post along with, we'll get there. All right, so the sun, the essence. The sun is acknowledged by many cultures as the foremost masculine force. In other traditions, it is seen as a feminine in her full power. Either way, it is the most brilliant light for all beings and allows life to sprout from the dark, feminine earth. It can be gentle and warming, close to sunrise or sunset, fall or winter, or it can be destructive as in its zenith during a scorching summer. The medicine. Have you been shining your light for too long? Remember that daylight is only 1/2 of the day. The night must have her equal time, and she offers us gifts as well. Be careful not to be blinded by your light or the light of others. Do not become so enamored with yourself or worship others. Beware your shadow. Reveal in your midday glory, but do not be afraid of the waning of the light at dusk. I'm actually going to read you the invitation too. I'm going to post it on Instagram too if you want to read yourself, but I just feel very like I need to. I don't even know what it says. I just feel like I need to. The invitation. Have you been hibernating? Have you been introspective? It is time to come out of your cave and savor the life-giving light of our star. The sun rekindles your passion and your creative energy. Life is calling you to shine your light and to add your lightness and humor to the seriousness around you. Get out and play. That's why I feel like I had to read it. The medicine one wasn't vibing with me. I think that one's more for you. For some of you, it may be the medicine, but I feel like I had to read the invitation because I think a lot of you have been hibernating, and I think it is time for you to like take a breath of fresh air. Next up, this is the Lemuria. This is the Beyond Lemuria. Lemuria. This is a really, really phenomenal deck. It's super, super deep. There's a whole page of information for each card. I'm just going to read you kind of the keywords and general energy of it. I'm not post a picture of the rest of the book if it resonates and you want to know what it says. Guidance for pile 3. Did I just feel one flip? I did. Ha ha. All right, you got card number 8, third eye chakra, pineal perspective. this book, I find this book to be so good. Like, this book is amazing. So I am going to post a picture. It often has a really phenomenal messages in it. But I'm going to read to you the keywords and the themes. The seat of wisdom. The seat of wisdom and consciousness, intuition, imagery, blah, blah. The seat of wisdom and consciousness, intuition, imagination, seeing inner and outer worlds, limitlessness and understanding. And the themes are enhancing your imagination or intuition, seeing beyond illusion, which I would say is a really important component for you for spring, because you have gone through this healing process, which means moving forward now, you're going to be able to see beyond some of your own illusions and the illusions around you on account of the wisdoms that you obtain from doing that healing. So, this has been your reading. Leave me a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. You know the drill. It's YouTube. You know what to do. But all those things are appreciated. If you appreciated the content, I appreciate when you do those things. So, that's all I have for you guys. You guys are going to have a beautiful spring. And thank you for doing the work in the winter. You did a great, great, great job.